I'm Adam C and welcome to the BPJ Christmas roasting. I know it's February, but this was meant to be a Christmas roasting. I was going to rate or hate the cars that the BPJ Modified members sent in. That never happened at Christmas time, so here we are in February doing a roasting at about 180 degrees. So everyone on BPJ Modified was asked to send in pictures of their cars and they were asked to be prepared to be roasted, and I've also not included all of the cars, so some of your cars might have been missed out, and again apologies for that. You may notice I've got these posters up on the board behind me. These are posters that I designed myself and they are available on adamc.tmail.com. So first of all we have the stars of a UK car meet. So we've got the regular, the slimy boy, the unwelcome guest, the one everyone loves, the redliner and the grim reaper. We then have my car collection. We've got my MGB, my TVR, my Cobra, my RX-8 and my 350Z. They are both available. Check out the link with t-shirts as well. But for now, let's get on with the roasting. So I've got all the pictures on my little laptop here, which isn't turning on currently. There we go. So this first one is a Fiesta ST sent in by Aaron Hurst _. He's obviously the second best Aaron Hurst on Instagram, so he had to put an underscore next to his name, and he's also gone for the second best colour for the Fiesta ST. So it seems to be in molten orange rather than the spirit blue that most Mark 7 STs are in. What? And he seems to have parked in front of a Baptist church to ask for forgiveness for his life choices. Next we have Alexki. Al3K3Y. It's almost as bad as some of your personalised number plates, and this is a Toyota Celica, of course. It looks a bit like a Stormtrooper. I imagine Stormtrooper has been used to describe this car at one point in its life. So the bonnet is not shut properly to suggest that it's got maximum power and maximum torque steer. It's got the Need for Speed Underground 2 sticker, which suits the car, whereas the black orbs that are the wheels do not. The trouble with black wheels is you can't see the spokes. As soon as you paint them black, it's just an orb under the arch of the car. White wheels might look a little bit better on that car, but overall it doesn't look too bad, but it will forever be front wheel drive. So Alex Kempley has sent in his stock Honda Jazz, apart from a cherry bomb exhaust with a video which we will ignore. He's also knocked off the hubcaps for a scene look, but to me it just looks clumsy. Next we have Amy, who has sent in her Skoda Octavia RS. Do a little poll in the comments. Can you name the worst car to bear the RS name? Let me know in the comments what the worst RS model car in existence is. Obviously we've got Fords, we've got Porsches that have used the name. We've got the Skoda Octavia. To be fair, it looks pretty nice. It's got the Volvo 850 T5 vibes and that yellow paintwork, and it's nice to see white wheels rather than black. I wonder if those front vents do actually vent. Oh, and it shoots flames as well. Good to see external internal combustion. It's dangerously becoming quite a cool car, this one, but the Skoda badge, which seems to have been blacked out of embarrassment, brings shame on that somewhat. Anna Bassis has sent in a poverty Toyota Yaris GR. This is the Kia Picanto GT line with red bits to make it look sporty. But there is something unusually cool about a city car in white. This next submission is from both Becky and Carl Appleby. This is a Focus Mark 2.5 ST. This one isn't orange, so it must be rare, but it's still repping AirTech branding in the front corner, but in blue unusually, maybe to match the Ford badge, although they've blacked out the Ford badge. They've even blacked out some parts of the top of the headlights to make it look more like a Ford Mondeo. Okay, Boosted Snorlax has sent in the car that everyone loves. This, obviously, is the Toyota Chaser JZX 100. There's a rather handsome devil in the corner there filming it. Unfortunately, the spoiler on the back is not quite as handsome as that. Rip off the spoiler and you've got a nice Chaser. Oh, birds. A rear spoiler on the back of a Toyota Chaser is completely unnecessary on what has become a poser's investment car. The Superstar Edition, now the Chaser, is following. It's okay, because everyone loves them. So we next have Callum_8574, who has only sent in half of his car. We shall wait till the other half has loaded because there's only 2 wheels there. Next we have Calon2 Wheels. Interestingly, he has wheels in his username, but his wheels are painted black, so you can't actually see them. It's sat pretty nicely, but it never will be a Focus ST like the ZS badge on the back is trying to resemble, obviously ZS standing for ZTEC S, or in other words, not an ST. Next along we have Carlos the Sandwich Slayer, who has sent in his Polo bread van. He probably swapped the sandwich for the car because they are of similar value. He's following the new mentality that the worse the car looks, the cooler it gets. But tell me, Carlos, whenever you go shopping, how many Karens flag this car as fly tipping in their local Asda? I imagine it's quite a lot. So next we have Charlie Yates 99, who has sent in a Hawkeye Subaru Impreza wagon. Now this is the only time that's not having an STI is something to be ashamed of, but it looks rather clean with the flared arches. It's sat pretty nicely. I like the Hawkeye. It's probably my favourite generation of Subaru. I know a lot of you don't really like them as much as other generations, but personally I like the Hawkeye. But after that we have Clifford the Big Red Pug, obviously inspired by Clifford the Big Red Dog, a lovable cartoon character, whereas this Peugeot is not quite as lovable as that. Looking at the evil front headlights, children would be actively afraid to go near this car, rather than the Big Red Dog, which is a lovable dog. Normally I like colour coding on the car, but the amount of red on this car, including the bumpers and the LEDs, makes it look like it's blushing from embarrassment. Next along we have CR14.ump, another username inspired by a number plate of a car. This one isn't even a personalised number plate. It is an Audi A1, and apparently the loudest Audi A1 in the country. He's debadged it so we don't get confused in calling it an S1, which we wouldn't do anyway. And the flames suggest a pop bang map is present, which I'll let you decide your thoughts of that. Next we have D34N_Bimmer. I'm guessing D34N is a harsh way of spelling Dean. A bit like the Brave Blue Wheels is a harsh way of making his silver BMW more interesting than it actually is. Next along we have Dan_You Won't Do It. Oh, I will. On first glance, this looks like a pretty clean car. The matte black paintwork, the gold split rims with the chromed dishes, but then you realise the arches have been flared so much that the wheels are in a completely different postcode. Next along we have Darren John McCall, who has sent in his attempt in making his Hyundai look like an Australian muscle car. Part 1, which was the most important step, was to debadge it. He's then put a 90s style body kit on it and wheels, and then a large spoiler on the back. But for all its quirks, I don't actually mind this too much. If only it wasn't actually a front-wheel drive Hyundai. Oh, a bird just flew into the window. He's fine. Next along we have Datsun Charlie, who has sent in his pair of Datsuns. His job is to keep these Datsuns alive, but with Datsun historically being the punchline of a joke, this feels like actively not turning off the life support machine of your dying nan. To be fair, the miracle that both these cars have survived has made them pretty cool. Next along we have ELS_Mark 1. This is a Mark 1 Clio, a Renault Clio that looks pretty cool. The way it's sat, the wheels, and the two-tone paintwork, despite the AE86 vibes, sets it off pretty nicely. It's been debadged on the front, the spotlights are yellow as well, but the only thing displaying its age are the abundance of Dordings down the side of the car. It's a bit like rings on the inside of a tree trunk. The more Dordings it is, the older the car, and they have not been sorted. Next we have F10 Sia, Sia being the flaunty way of saying how fast your car is, but no amount of power or speed will distract the fact that it is a silver BMW that will blend in with your daily commute. Next we have Fireball_MX5. This is a Mark 2.5 MX5. On first glance I would commend you on how well you've managed to match your seats to the paintwork of the car, but I imagine you've just gone into Halfords, given them your seats and says, yes, please match my paintwork to the seats of the car. It's quite a unique colour, but the wheels sit so far away from the bodywork that it looks like a Matchbox toy car from the 90s. We have another MX5. This one is a Mark 1 called Flick_the_Rust. This car isn't matte black, it's actually dark purple, but for argument's sake, let's just call it matte black. I like the neons, bring neons back on the inside and the out, but the whole car looks like it's crying for help a little bit. Next along we have Fossil_Fuels. Obviously this is a Mark IV Supra, and yes, it is turbocharged as well, but if it had any more vents in that bonnet, it would fall apart completely. I presume the front wings, bonnet and bumper are of a different material to the doors down the side, but to me it just looks like a poor colour match. But it's great to see what appears to be a Targa top Toyota Supra. Next, George has sent in his Vauxhall Frontera Greenlaner. Now, Greenlaner has recently hauled its way into the car community, and it's refreshing to see a Vauxhall rather than a Land Rover. It will be equally as refreshing as you're swimming through your Arctic puzzle to fetch help for your broken down Vauxhall. Next, we have H17UTB_JDM. Well, the Suzuki Swift is not JDM, that is his number plate, H17UTB, and the wrap probably has higher repayments than the car itself. Do those vents even vent as well? I bet they don't. that hooligan sticker on your windscreen isn't fooling anyone either. Next we have Healy_VR6. Volkswagen's greatest achievement was literally calling this car the Borer. The only redemption being the sound of its VR6, which I do approve of. Ooh, Herbert_custom_Corsa. Yes, Chloe, you had a question.
What do you want for lunch?
I don't know, we could drive to Subway. So first of all, he's managed to wrap over the list of brands down the side of the car that obviously aren't fitted to the car. Maybe that's why he's wrapped over it. This is a limited edition Corsa made even more limited by its unique list of modifications. So we've got the large spoiler on the back, tyre icing, we've got the colour-coded dishes of the wheels to the yellow front end of the car, we've got the matte grey at the rear, some rolling royalty revolution. I like the alliteration, but the sticker doesn't look great. We've got canards on the front of it, a 3D plate on the back, I refuse to call them 4D because they're not, and a low-life sticker on the dashboard. But well done for devaluing your neighbourhood. I bet your neighbours hate your car as much as you love it, but it's a nice little package. I appreciate the way it stands out. Next along we have a similar kind of car. We have J900_GD, another Instagram username based on the number plate of the car. It's also another non-ST giving ST vibes. It's also another little hatchback with an oversized spoiler on the back. And it's also another set of dark wheels providing invisible spokes. And are they orange calipers? Orange with red? I know they say blue and green should never be seen, but orange and red, I'd never be caught dead. Next, Jack_Polo Dune has sent in his Polo Dune. The Polo Dune looks to have been a practical four-wheel drive off-roader, but they never made them four-wheel drive. It was still front-wheel drive. And what Jack has done is he's got rid of any other practicality that the Dune had over the original Polo. So that capable ride height is now gone. Jack IS200T has sent in his Lexus IS200. Now this is the cheapest way to go drifting without looking like a hairdresser, but as a result these cars are going to be worth a couple of quid more in the future. But in the future it will be a mixture of 5 other cars as more and more drift accidents pick up. So treasure this car whilst it looks clean, because that might not last. That will never last long. Jake Clappison has sent in his Triumph Spitfire, which has the added benefit over the GT6 of having open top driving, but without the benefit of a 6-cylinder engine, for this has only 4 cylinders. Oh, right. Just One Casey has sent in a rear-wheel drive Toyota Prius, or Prius, with a 1JZ. Let this just sink in. It's a Toyota Prius with rear-wheel drive and a 1J. You can't really hate that, but I can't help but thinking you'd be better off putting the drivetrain and engine in something actually decent and crushing the wart that is the Toyota Prius. But kudos to this engineering fate. Oh, Katie Lee has sent in this Toyota, and due to YouTube's demonetization rulings, I'm not able to pronounce the name of this car. It's a 1979 Toyota Corolla. No love heart exhaust can make us forgive it for its sins. Lee_2K16 has sent in his very standard looking Hyundai Coupe. Those side vents do not appear to vent at all. But to be fair, this car could breathe through a straw for all the amount of power that it doesn't produce. Liam Martin has sent in his mum's Peugeot. He seems to have just knocked off a hubcap in a Tesco car park. Is he camouflaging the car in the autumn leaves? Is he trying to lose the car? Oh, sorry, I don't know where I've put it. I'm going to have to get something else. Next we have the Little Blue Mini. As you can see, this is a Little Blue Mini, and the front vent in the bonnet is almost as large as the panel gap down the side of the bonnet, but overall it looks like a rather nicely sat car. Ooh, right. This is limited_FK8. If this matte green twinned with the red neons is what makes it limited, please can we keep it a limited edition. Luke Evans has sent in a picture of a Volkswagen Passat. He seems to have taken the picture after the annual car wash, and the closest this car has ever been to a car meet has been in the general public car park. It's clearly been bought for functionality purposes, but he has already debadged the front grille, so all you need to do is lower it a little bit, give it a nice set of wheels, maybe change the colour, and you can drive over the bridge into the actual car meet. Next along we have Luke_350Z, who has sent in his 350Z. Unfortunately, Nissan provided a small amount of owners with orange details on the 350Z, so the calipers and what looks to be the interior is unfortunately orange. But to distract from the ghastly orange colour, Luke has put on some evil headlights. He's got the large spoiler on the back and some black bubbles down the side. Lupo_JC has sent in his Volkswagen Lupo. Can we all agree that Bonnet's bras look 1,000 times worse than a couple of stone chips on the front? But overall, it's a cute little car. Right, this is Mark Chadwick's submission. Can you all remember Microsoft Word when you were younger? You used to use word art in all of your displays. It'd make your display look a little bit more interesting, but then everyone did it and it ended up looking a bit appalling. That is what this type of wrap resembles to me. So little hexagons and cutout shapes is the word art of the current car community. This is Mark2_Ellis. Ellis seems to have always lusted after a Lancer Delta Integrale, but unfortunately couldn't afford it, so bought a Mark II Golf and placed some martini stripes down the side of it. But the rest of the car looks pretty nice. Next we have N19JDK. Is it just me, or does this Volvo S90 look a little bit like a Ford Crown Victoria? I mean, it might just be an appalling picture, but it looks quite cool for a Volvo. Our next submission is from Niz_Mo370Z, and of course, this is a Nismo 370Z. How did I know? Yes, there's the username, but also the fact that it looks like every single other Nismo 370Z that you ever see. They're always white with the red details. Sometimes you're fortunate enough to find a red or a black one, but white seems to be the most common colour, and this looks like all the rest. Although I can't really talk because my 350Z Roadster is in the launch colour, looking like every other 350Z Roadster in existence. Next we have No_Low_Unos. I don't know why the username is Nolo, because there is a lot of low. That's probably due to the oversized spoiler weighing down the rear of the car, making it too low to be driven. They're probably best friends with the MOT Sesta 2. I'd also say the anime and the cherry blossom looks out of place on this particular shade of blue, made even worse by the sparkly pink 3-spoke wheels, which are very brave. Next we have Opel_Manta_build. So I presume this is a build of an Opel Manta, so good luck with that, because I don't think anyone's making parts for an Opel Manta anymore. Even the stripes down the side appear to be modified variants of those from a Mark I Ford Escort Mexico, because Opel just aren't bothering with the Manta anymore. But to be fair, that's one of the coolest cars that I've seen today. Next we have Paul Barlow, who has sent in his Toyota Mister 2. He stuck a generic large spoiler on the back. He's then stepped back a few inches and looks at it as a job well done. You may be laughing, but I bet Paul is having a lot more fun than you guys. Next we have another Paul. This is Paul Bryan, who has sent in his Ford Probe, which was the disappointing replacement for the Ford Capri. Paul also needs lessons on how to fit the full car in the frame. But the Ford Probe's unsuccess and lack of rarity, along with its 3 spokes, the purple paintwork, and the pop-up headlights, has made this one of the strongest car crushes out there. Next we have Revilo 403. This is a Mark II Ford Focus RS. Unfortunately, due to the mass of ST and RS modifications, this is quite a boring aesthetic. And do you see what I mean about black spoke wheels? It's just a black orb in the arches. But it is refreshing to see one of these without an ASBO attached to it. Next we have Roger Wood's before and after. So before he ruined it, and after he ruined it. To be fair, the new bronze wheels are pretty nice. I like the splitters around the side, but I know you're loyal to your car club, but displaying the KYG car club down the side of it in red and matching it with red halo headlights is just not a good vibe. Next we have RY03 Pop, another matching username to the number plate. I mean, I appreciate the art in the photograph and I can see the mentality behind matching the pinstriping to your blue brake calipers, but I really do hope that the pop in your number plate does not refer to the pop and bang map that you've put on your Seat. Next we have the Saab Daily Booster. Daily driving a boosted Saab is no real accomplishment, but these are getting cooler and cooler as the years go on. So take the car a little bit more seriously, take off the word art graphics on the car, and flout it that way. Simon Dawson has sent in his Vauxhall Vectra with Walking Dead branding down the side of it. No one needs to know about your TV scheduling habits, and that spoiler is not necessary on a Vectra. Next we have that_evil_beamer. All we know from the username and this photo is the car has red demonic halos. The rest of the car is probably too embarrassing to show. Then we have that_gold_R50. Forgetting the overused username style, that something car, I appreciate the colour theme on this car and the dedication to keeping it just gold or black, other than the red sticker on that rear window. Then we have that Blue Corsa _Soundman, another username that's that colour car. This picture is just demonstrating how low to the ground your rubber splitter is. Now, unless the splitter is permanently touching the ground, there's no point sending me a picture like that. And that green bug splat on the car is probably the best looking part of it. Then we have Tiffany_the_E60. This is Tiffany, the E60. I presume the car itself is called Tiffany, with even more word art graphics on the car that look like they've been given a classroom challenge to cut out a triangle, and these are all their attempts and failures to create that triangle. I can't help but think these red wheels could do with a nice chromed dish around them as well. Then we have Tobias__Waters, who is sent in his quite clean aesthetic of a Polo GTI. I just hope that you don't call your number plates 4D because they're not, they're three-dimensional. Then we have Tom140i_. Tom has ruined his M140i by applying a set of BBS split rims that makes the wheels look 2 inches smaller than they actually are. In this rare instance, I think black wheels would set the car off nicely. Then we have Tyler Holm88, who has relocated his front number plate onto this bonnet. Next, we have Warren Penalva. I'm sorry if I've mispronounced that. This is a Mitsubishi Pajero Evolution, or as the front sticker says, it's a Mitsubishi Pajero Evolution, or as the rear sticker says, it's a Mitsubishi Pajero Evolution.
Interesting enough, Pajero means something very naughty in Spanish.
What does it mean?
I think it means... I'm gonna Google it.
It is nice to see this in silver rather than white, because most of the ones you see are white. It would be good to match the wheels to the paintwork a little bit better. They seem to be two different shades of silver. What does it mean? What does Pajero mean?
Just leave it to people to search Pajero in
yeah, because I'm going to have to beep that.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, it's time to end the rate or hate. The Christmas roasting not at Christmas. In truth, I don't actually hate any of those cars. They're all great to see. I really enjoy seeing modified cars like that because it's different from just seeing a silver BMW. If there was just a standard silver BMW in here, which there almost was, I would have just ignored it and not put it in the video. But the entertainment of brave wheels, body kits, spoilers, neons, and hilarious stickers, that's what car meets are all about, especially of the modified genre, and that's what I enjoy the most. So, as I've mentioned, here we have the stars of the UK car meet, here we have my collection of cars, here we have Everyone Loves a White Chaser t-shirt, as we saw in the video, and here we have me signing off the video, so thanks for BPJ Modified for sending me in their members' cars. Follow me on Instagram for all the highlights and updates of car meets that I go to when eventually they are allowed to be on, but for now, thanks for watching.
Do you like my input?
Thank you.
You're very welcome. I just thought, oh, I know the Pajero, like, because some people in the UK, they call them Shoguns because Pajero means in Spanish.
Yeah.